everyone.
Hopefully it works perfectly fine. If not, then it's a moron. Anyways, so you guys enjoy how I do Game Shaker. My gosh. Game Shaper. Game Shakers episode recaps / review. So I was actually meant to do this last week, but I didn't because, well, lots of crap. And then all of a sudden, yeah. Anyways, so we're going to talk about episode 16, Nasty Goats. So for those who didn't know about this episode, it turns out this episode, they got hacked. Yeah, they got like supremely hacked. And if you saw the promo, you find out that they found out the person who hacked it. It turns out it's a kid, but not only a kid, but it's a kid that lives in Alaska. And not only that, but you also have the fact of this kid only lives with his grandma, and his grandma is out of whack of sorts. But with that said, my goodness, it's just an interesting freaking episode. I mean, it really is. Oh, man. So here's what's going on. So the episode starts up, they found out that, oh my gosh, our thing got hacked, and then, well actually no, they found out by going the next day at school, and they found out that people are playing this new game called Nasty Goats, and they're like, oh, it's so awesome, and it turns out a hacker hacked it and then leaked it online, and you had this one kid who's like, I've been downloading all my games free anyways, and Babe took his belt and said, oh, yeah, you like it when your stuff gets stolen? He's like, I don't care, and then his pants fell down. One thing I have to say is that kid needs to not say that out loud. I mean, my gosh. So basically they found where he was, and thanks to Double D, he actually flew everyone to Alaska. They found him, and then he was hiding. That was funny. He just hid, and then the grandma was smart at first, but then they told him, hey, we're relatives too, and it's like, we're cousins, and she's like, oh, come on in. So it's like, wow, seriously? So they came in, the kid actually hid in a bear rug, and it was so funny. So, my goodness. Yeah, eventually, it was funny when they found him. Someone was actually standing on top of him. So anyways, his demands is he likes the weather girl, so he wants to have macaroni and cheese with the weather girl. Which was doable. They were able to get there, and as soon as they got there, Double D was able to get on TV over there in Alaska, and he was just promoting stuff. He wasn't even answering the guys' questions. So they got the weather girl. The weather girl said yes and everything, but then all of a sudden, they were like, oh, I gotta cover the weather, so she actually had to ditch out. Which basically, Babe had the idea of, well, number one, she poses as the weather girl, and number two, they broke the kid's glasses so he couldn't actually tell it was Babe. So it worked out perfectly fine, except the guy who actually was helping him out, which was a long-haired dude, he said, oh, I fixed your glasses for you, and you put it on, and it's like, oh, frick, and then all of a sudden, Babe just decided to manhandle him, and yeah, and it's kind of funny. We're like, why didn't we do this in the beginning? So it was kind of funny. So yeah, he had one arm to type everything in, and he was like, oh, I need both arms, and they were able to get their game back. So there we go. That's the episode. The episode was very, very funny. It was very, very, very funny. So definitely a good one to check out. And yeah, that's about all I have to say. The weather girl is quite a looker. Yeah, I can see why. So, yeah. Well, anyways, thank you for watching, and, yeah. Enjoy.